who was there at Munich, West Germany, the 20th Olympiad, when they were winding things up just about a year ago, the memories, I'm sure, will be forever indelible and certainly were revivified by that which you have just seen. But let's get on with today's show, the Muhammad Ali-Kenny Norton rematch. The scene set, Monday night past, Los Angeles, California. And the circumstances, the surroundings, almost eerie it seemed to me as one who has been so closely associated with Ali and all his fights through the years. Ali seemed troubled from the very beginning, terribly somber, serious, maybe even frightened, but not that young man, Kenny Norton, composed, secure. He had broken Ali's jaw in the prior fight. Troubled perhaps by only one thing as I spoke with him, his absence of notoriety. The fact that you've not been accepted yet really in a public sense upsets you.
No, it doesn't, because of the fact that everyone else has tried to beat Muhammad and they didn't succeed. I succeeded. So therefore my confidence is up, and mentally I know where I am as far as boxing is concerned.
And final question, you're convinced that the break in his jaw occurred not in the second round, as his camp finally said, but in the 12th and final round?
This is my conception, yes, through watching the films.
In other words, you think they used an excuse and that you beat the real Ali?
I think it's very obvious that I'm not saying that I don't want to be derogatory toward their camp or toward Muhammad, because I respect the man, but I can say that I think that they used a number of excuses, his hand, his wrist, his ankle, whatever, but I hope he had a physical before this fight, so there's no excuses after this one.
Kenny Norton was right. There could be no excuses this time. Ali had disciplined himself at his Deer Lake training camp, whipped his body into condition, or so it seemed, down to 212 pounds, 9 pounds less than the prior fight. But yet there was that curious demeanor. Just look at him there, the eyes, as he was approaching the ring. I found his behavior in his dressing room when I spoke to him just before the fight stranger than at any time since I have known him. And that was a long time ago that it began. Not even an hour before fight time, I don't think, in all the years I've known you, I've ever seen you so sternly subdued, so quiet. What does this mean?
Well, the atmosphere calls for it, Howard. As I heard you say on one sports show that if I lose, I'm finished, you know, it shows you how people consider my talent. Floyd Patterson's lost 90 times, he's not finished. Jerry Quarry's lost 90 times, he's not finished, and all of them lose. Frazier was slaughtered, he's not finished, but I'll be finished if I lose. So the atmosphere is serious, and the climate is serious, and I just have to meet it head on.
But even now you're talking about losing, and this was unthinkable of the Ali of the past, the man I've known for so many years. Where is the old braggadocio?
No, I just said, I just saw you on television, and you mentioned if I lose, I'm finished. This is what you said. I'm not saying I'm not losing. I'm not worried about losing, but I'm talking about what you said. So this is why I was explaining why I'm serious.
Will you fight this fight differently?
Dancing every second, every minute. Down to 212, same way the folks on the list. Not one time will I be pinned in a corner.
Not one time will I be trapped in the corners, he told me. We'll see about that when we get to the fight. But what I will always remember about last Monday was how, from the moment of my arrival, several days before the fight in Los Angeles, California, there wasn't a single joke between us. There was no high humor in Muhammad Ali. I sensed the self-doubts. I sensed that he had begun to question himself, probably up at the training camp, questioned his own stamina, questioned his ability to be even a shadow of what once he had been before that day in 1967 when he rejected military induction. We'll be back in just a moment with the Muhammad Ali-Kenny Norton rematch. It was a star-studded night in Los Angeles, California. At ringside, the luminaries included Henry Mancini, Jerry West, Henry Fonda, Milton Berle, Sammy Davis Jr., and then the fight.
The fight begins. Round one. to watch for is just what you're seeing now. Movement by Ali, circling steadily to the left on his toes. If he can sustain that, he'll be able to use his left jab effectively. He's got a lot to prove to this crowd and to himself tonight. Ali's tactics will be to stick and move, stick and move. Keep dancing and score with the left jab. Wear down Norton, destroy his confidence. Norton has a peculiar style. He kind of lags his right leg. As our camera goes down to that right leg, you will notice it kind of lags. Norton likes to fight in the middle of the ring. Cut the ring in half on Ali, if he can. We're a little more than a minute and a half through round one. Ali the white trunks, Norton the blue. No blows really scored yet, except for constancy of movement by Ali, and Norton with that right leg lagging always close to the center of the ring.
Stick till you get it together. Come on, baby. Quiet down there.
A minute left to go in the first round. Cautious Ali, fighting differently from the last time. 9 pounds light. Ali, who has fought 41 times, lost but twice. To Joe Frazier, an understandable loss. To Kenny Norton, an ununderstandable loss. Now Ali is really trying to do his thing. In that quick exchange, he scored once or twice a few seconds ago and then danced out and away. See the way he's trying to score with the left. 20 seconds left in round one.
That's an old man. Let's get it on. 10 seconds. Hit him in the chin. 10 seconds. Come on. Hurry.
The end of the round coming up. The end of round one, and we are looking at Muhammad Ali going to his corner. Muhammad Ali, who did more dancing in that first round than he did in 10 of the 12 rounds of the prior fight between these two men. Notice that Ali does not even sit in his chair during the between rounds period. Norton's getting instructions from his very shrewd leader, Eddie Futch. The bell for round two. Norton's left was cut off by the Ali right. It did not get through. If you hear a voice in the background, it's Drew Brown Bundini saying stick and move. A noisy assistant who's been in and out of the Ali camp for so many years. In favor one moment, out of favor the next.
Why you good?
Norton's best punch is really a left to the belly. His right is a chopping thing. That jaw that he broke, Ali contends was broken when his mouth was open and he had missing teeth. Ali's jaw has been restructured. He is wearing a brace.
Get him together.
Drew Brown Bundini watching and shouting. We are almost a minute and a half into round two.
Quiet him down and he's going out.
The referee, Dick Young, just yelled into the Ali corner, quiet Bundini down or he's going to be thrown out of the arena. Dick Young, by the way, is a veteran referee. and so far has been showing a lot of movement himself and has had good position throughout the early stages of the bout. Crowd was misled by both Norton lefts, neither landed. But it's interesting the way Norton pursues, and always, as I said, is somewhere near the center of that ring, even with that right leg lagging. Quick left jab by Ali, scored. That left is getting in now by Ali. Norton's working on that belly with his left as he has Ali in the corner. Remember, that's Norton's best blow, the left to the midsection. We have 20 seconds left in the round. Round 2. We are closing in on the end of round 2.
Take 10.
Right, let's take a look at that series in the corner in slow motion. When Ali led with a right there, and then in came the left by Norton to the Ali chin. Now watch this. That's the blow that Norton likes to register, the left to the midsection. It doesn't show immediate impact upon the opponent, but over the course of the fight, it takes a very heavy toll. I would suspect that Ali has been awarded the first 2 rounds, although one could have been called even. Round 3 underway, Ali in the white trunks, Norton in the blue. And Ali still on his toes, circling mainly steadily to the left, but occasionally reverting as there to the right. Dancing, dancing. Norton with that widespread stance, the right foot lagging. Always, as I said, somewhere near the center of the ring. Trying to cut the ring down on Ali. Basic boxing tactic. Ali with a right to the midsection, but relying on the sticking jab, such as you just saw, and always going toward the eyes. One minute gone in round 3. Norton in pursuit, led with a right against the chest there. Minute and a half gone in this round 3. Ali scored with a right lead, missed with the follow-up left, but is using the jab. Again, the left. Less than a minute to go in the 3rd round. In the old days, Ali could fight this way effectively. He could dance, he could let those gloves hang at his side, and he could snap the head back and slip the blows. But in his recent fights, and ever since his return from the 3.5 years of idleness, he's been tagged. Foster cut him in the eye. Bugner scored against him. Norton broke his jaw. And of course, Frazier knocked him down, and in the 11th round of the Frazier fight, scored with a stunning left. So it's not a good tactic now at his age to have those hands at the sides. The end of the round coming up. bell for round 4. Up to this point, in the first 3 rounds, Ali has shown steady movement. He has scored reasonably consistently with the left jab. He has not hurt Norton. He has not cut Norton. It's altogether probable, scoring the way he has, that the old Ali, with the fly swatter technique at the moment of impact, would have opened a cut. But not here, not tonight. Still a very different bout thus far from the first bout because of Ali's movement. And most ringside observers have him ahead. Sitting right next to this reporter, by the way, is the all-time king of show business, Mr. Frank Sinatra. And hopefully, as an old-time fight fan, we'll get his observations between rounds. Remember the California scoring system. The winner of a round gets from 1 to 5 points. The loser gets no points. If a round is considered even, neither fighter gets any points. It's possible in California for a man to win more rounds than his opponent and lose the fight. That happened to Floyd Patterson when he lost a decision to Jerry Quarry a number of years ago.
Put him together. Put him together.
We've got about 1 minute and 15 seconds left in round 4. You see Ali's tactics unchanging. I'll give this to Kenny Norton. He was underrated by me and by a lot of other people. He's persistent. He's aggressive. He's unafraid. He's a much better fighter than anybody gave him credit for being.
Side to side, baby. Hook. Keep it up. Go the other way and throw your hook.
30 seconds left to go in round 4. That's the end of round 4. Ali, for the first time, sits down in his chair between rounds. Up till now, he's been determinedly standing, I guess to show Norton how strong and well-trained he is. And right now, I'm going to be talking with Frank Sinatra sitting here to my left. And I thought, yes, we're on the hand camera, Frank. What's your view of the bout thus far?
Well, first of all, Howard, I think that I've never seen 2 men as finely trained. Particularly, Ali is very finely trained, and he's got great speed tonight. I don't know whether he can keep up that kind of speed. I was disappointed about the fact that he's not resting enough between corners, between rounds. I think he should get more rest.
Even now, as Frank says that, Ali is up on his feet dancing, and he's been doing it for about 20 seconds. He's been studiously eschewing a rest period. We begin the 5th round.
One more time, baby.
Oh, a good left by Ali. Norton's head low and right into it, and he felt that one. We're 45 seconds into the 5th round. George Foreman, the reigning heavyweight champion, just a couple of rows behind us. And during the course of the fight, hopefully we'll have a couple of words from George. Frank Sinatra mentioned the finely conditioned Ali, and that's true. having scaled down by 9 pounds from his overweight situation against Norton in March, Ali has been able thus far to sustain that movement that you're seeing so steadily. Minute and a half to go in the 5th round. Got a minute left to go in the 5th round, and it's a different Ali and a different Kenny Norton. The impression grows in this round that it's Norton who may be becoming slightly fatigued. 45 seconds left to go in the round, and maybe we can get a word from Angie Dundee. Angie, are you satisfied with the way Ali is fighting?
He's got this guy eating out of his hands. It's going to get better and better, Howard.
Better and better, Dundee says that Norton is eating out of Ali's hands. George Foreman behind me is saying, Ali, let's go home, so you can see what Foreman's present thinking is. Norton does seem to be wearing down. The left gets in more steadily now from Ali. 10 seconds left in the round. Yeah. All right, we've got the bell now for round 6. Norton pouring with the left, just pouring, trying to get at Ali. Ali quickly moving again. That's been the landmark of this fight, I think, Ali's movement. And in the 5th round especially, he started to score with consistency. There's that left again and again. Ali has developed a bad habit. Maybe it's on account of age. It's staying against those ropes too long. Remember the way he fiddled while Frazier burned? Ali scored with a good combination, a left and a right. Yes, he's got a bump on the right side of his right eye, a major bump, a minor one on the left side of the left eye. Kenny Norton bumps next to either eye. George Foreman is actually getting up to leave the arena. George, before you go, are you ever going to fight Ali? He just waved his hand in disgust. Not at me, at Muhammad. Minute 10 seconds left to go in round 6. Norton got in a left jab there, and that stirred the crowd because Kenny's a California lad from San Diego, former Marine. Oh, a good right! Staggered Norton. A good right, staggered Norton, and he came in with the left. Norton's angered. Norton is not in good shape at this moment. He is now fighting out of instinct. That left gets in again. But that right was a beauty. Probably Ali's best blow of the fight. He is rubbery leg. Norton is rubbery leg. If Ali goes after him now, he's got a shot. He's letting him hold on. The bump next to the right eye is getting bigger and bigger. We have 6 seconds left in the 6th round. A big round for Muhammad Ali. That's the end of round 6. We're going to take a look. We're going to take a look in slow motion at that punch that staggered Kenny Norton. Now watch closely. There's the right against the left jaw. And that hurt Kenny Norton. From that moment on, he was rubbery-legged in the round. Ali did not put him away. Still Ali refusing to sit in his corner. Coming out now for the 7th round. Let's see how much Norton has recovered. Less movement by Ali as the round starts. Maybe he's going to try and put him away. There's the left again, and now the movement, steadily to the left. Kenny Norton with that attempted left to the belly, a right to the midsection, to the rib area. That right, a wild one behind Ali's neck. Now Frank Sinatra is urging Ali to stick him. Stick him and move. 1 minute gone in the 7th round. At ringside, Ali very much in the lead, in the opinion of most observers. Nonetheless, coming off his biggest round of the fight, Ali has not been doing much in this round. Minute and a half gone in the 7th round. There's Ali against the ropes in the corner. An uppercut by Norton landed. The left to the stomach. This is Ali's bad habit. Now he's covering most of those blows, but you can't stay in there forever and not expect to get hit. Either Ali needs that kind of situation for rest, as was the apparent case against Frazier. A good right lead by Ali, or else it's a bad habit that costs him. Ali's movement has slowed considerably in this round, coming off a big round. And Norton scores with a right. Norton scores well with a right. A good left by Norton. A big round for Kenny Norton. A half a minute left. Big round for Norton. There's Ali again. Suddenly, the movement left Ali. There's just a trace of it. Norton, who seemed in so much trouble in the 6th, now the aggressor, scoring heavily. Pushing Ali all over the ring. By far, Norton's best round. 5 seconds left. And a whole new look. In Los Angeles, California. Norton in the blue trunks against Ali in the white. Ali had a big round in the 6th, a very good round in the 5th. Ali was scoring steadily with the left and moving steadily. And Norton appeared to be in real trouble in the 6th round. But in the 7th round, the movement left Ali. He was pinned against the ropes a number of times, and Norton scored heavily. Got to give Norton a lot of credit. This is a scheduled 12-rounder. And again, suddenly, Ali appears more flat-footed. Now there's a trace of movement again. To that Ali midsection with his left. And he did it very well in the 7th round, and he scored with his right in the 7th round. He is a tough fighter. We're a little more than a minute into the 8th round. Again, Ali is against the ropes. His corner screams, get away from the ropes. Get up. You can beat him and I know it. With the gloves up in front of his face, the elbows in front of the belly. But he gets out and dances, but not the kind of dancing he did in the first 6 rounds. Win or lose this fight, Norton comes out a respected fighter. A very respected fighter. Less than a minute to go in the 8th round. Norton appears tired now, too. The two of them do. A right lead by Ali, but with no sting to it. Good scoring by Norton. He is coming on. Again, Ali laying against the ropes. "15 seconds left to go in the round. It's the 8th round, and Ali fighting for his boxing life. As you can see, Ali in the corner as the round ends against those ropes, but Norton himself a very tired fighter. Now let's take a look at some of that 8th round action in slow motion. A good left by Kenny Norton. And Ali in the very place where he said he would not be in the pre-fight interview, in the corner, as Norton belabors. Ali is now fighting for his boxing life, as I said. And Ali with a paw, and then Norton is all over him again. Norton hitting Ali all over the ring. Round 9 coming up. The bell for the 9th round. Norton the blue trunks, Ali the white. We'll try and get a word from Angie Dundee during the course of this round because of the change in the pattern of the fight in the last 2 rounds. Remember, Dundee told us earlier it would get better and better for Ali, but the last 2 rounds it got worse and worse. Angie, Angelo. Angie, pass that hand mic to Angie Dundee. Norton's been getting to you, fighter, the last 2 rounds. What's up?
Well, Norton's making a real good rally. We'll see what happens.
Okay, Angie.
We got a few more wrinkles left.
Norton scoring again as Ali's against the ropes. Dundee admitting that Norton's making a good rally. Ali flicking the left. But as long as he's against those ropes, he's vulnerable. The movement has stopped. A finely conditioned and finely trained Ali, when he apparently had Norton ready for the canvas, never did floor him, hasn't cut him, although there are big bumps next to each Norton eye. And Ali has started seemingly to wear down. There he is in the corner again, just covering. There's Ali against the ropes again. Now still against the ropes. Norton conserving his foot strength, always the pursuer, and trying to measure Ali when he's against the ropes. Less than a minute to go in the 9th round. Norton is taking Ali's blows and trying to measure him and score with his own. But Ali is scoring. Now notice the total absence of movement in ring center. The 2 of them just standing there. Ali trying to measure Norton. Norton trying to measure Ali. 2 tired fighters. And it's the 9th round. Seconds left. The round over. Just about. Yeah, they both look tired as we await the start of round 10. There's the bell. 10th round. It was something to see the 2 men just standing there in ring center, utterly flat-footed last round. Both tired, each trying to measure the other. submission that brings her off from the crowd. They keep yelling move from Ali's corner, and there he tries, but only for a couple of seconds. Now he's on his toes and dancing. If he can muster up some reserve, he'll be in pretty good shape. Good right by Ali. Good right. Now Ali is on his toes and bouncing. This is the 10th round. A good left by Ali. Minute and a half left to go in the 10th round. A right that partially got in by Norton. That chopping right of his that broke Ali's left jaw in their last fight. Minute 10 seconds left in the round. Finally getting out. That time Norton didn't take advantage. Good left to Ali's right jaw. And Ali guarding, the gloves up, again in that corner against the ropes. Coming out, you see the quickness with which Norton tries to capitalize with the right. But he didn't. Tired fighters. "30 seconds to go in the round. Norton's eyes both swollen. The right eye especially. And now a cut under the left eye. No question. A cut under the left eye of Norton. Blood coming out of it. But under the eye, it won't bother him. That was a good score. The round's about over. For the 11th round. Good job done on the cut under Norton's eye. No trace of the blood now. Quick piece of work by Eddie Futch. Ali would like to finish him. He makes that clear early in this round. Norton comes back and connects with a right. Ali in the corner. Norton manhandling him, pushing him back. Norton trying to work on that midsection. Norton is a game fighter and a tough one. Underrated by all of us. And I mean advisedly all of us. Not by the man who handles him, Eddie Futch, but by all of us who thought he'd be a breather for Ali the first time. Ali gets in a quick left and then a stronger right. But he's against the ropes and covering up right above us. Right above us. Works himself out of it. Norton is tired, game but tired. Ali himself is tired. He's landed a lot of blows. We've got a minute 15 seconds to go in round 11. Ali is resting against the ropes. Norton is too tired to fire with the power that he had a few rounds ago. But anybody watching Muhammad Ali tonight must now be convinced he is no longer a great fighter. And they should have been convinced of that a long time ago, because in fairness to Ali, he lost the best 3.5 years of his life. And he couldn't have been expected to come back to boxing with anything like the efficiency that he had enjoyed before that period of enforced idleness. Ali again resting against the ropes, and Norton not flailing away. He is a very tired fighter now, Kenny Norton. 15 seconds left to go in round 11. End of the round. The bell for the 12th round. Referee Dick Young. Between the fighters as they touch gloves and then break apart for the action. Ali with a whole flurry of punches. Norton is very tired. Ali would like to do him away if he could. Repeatedly now. Norton coming at him wildly and not scoring. Norton's face now a pulpy mess around the eyes, both eyes. 1 minute gone in the final round. It's the 12th round, and it's been a different Ali. Kenny Norton has been a game opponent. Far cry from the 12th round of March 31st. Minute and 5 seconds left in the final round. Less than a minute to go. A right uppercut by Ali. A good left by Norton. A good left to the stomach as Ali is in the corner. Good right by Ali. Good left. Ali scoring steadily. Less than 30 seconds left. Seconds left. This fight is about over. A bell. And it turned out again to be a very, very interesting fight. Look at Ali in his corner. Frustration written all over his face, and look, a quick blow at Bundini. And now there's other fighting in the corner. The whole thing, I think, a registration of the disappointment over Ali's performance tonight. We'll be back with the wrap-up in a moment.
This was the scene in the ring immediately after the bout had ended. Two judges' decisions announced, 1-6-5 Norton, 1-6-5 Ali, and then the decisive score.
Split decision, Muhammad Ali!
Immediately thereafter, I went over to Ken Norton, the loser, in order to talk to the young man who surprisingly was quite clear.
Kenny, I suspect you expected that decision because you told Ali's brother just a moment ago in the ring that you had thought you lost, or did I mistake?
You're mistaken. I said, he asked me if he fought a good fight, his points are good, and I said yes.
You thought you had won the fight?
I didn't have any thoughts about it. I was open-minded. I thought that it was a very good fight, and it could have went either way.
Did he hurt you?
I got caught with a good right hand once, yes, in the 11th round.
Well, Kenny Norton may have been hurt and he may have lost, but he made some fight of it. Then to Ali.
Muhammad, were you surprised by the split decision?
Well, in a way, yes, and in a way, no. I think the judge who voted me losing most rounds are wrong. Sure, people saw it. I think I got another broken bone, Howard. It's my hand this time.
In your hand?
In the 7th round, hit me to the right and hurt my wrist pop. I'm going to the hospital from here to see if it's broken or not.
And you say it happened in the 7th?
Not the 6th, 7th.
Well, the 6th was your round, I thought, quite clearly, and then suddenly in the 7th...
How do you like my legs, Howard? Are my legs gone, or do I still have them?
Well, I was about to say, your legs were immensely improved, but in that 7th round, you had almost had them in the 6th, I thought. You stopped moving, and you weren't throwing punches.
That was this hand I told you.
And it was that, then that explains why suddenly there was the stoppage of the movement.
Right.
Overall, were you satisfied with your performance?
In a way, yes, and in a way, no. They say when I was in my prime, I would have wiped out the likes of Ken Norton. I think they're wrong. Ken Norton is a great fighter, surprising fighter and strong, and I think he'll whip George Foreman.
You think he'll whip George Foreman?
Yes, the way George is fighting. Right now, I think I want Joe Frazier.
You want Joe Frazier?
I want Joe Frazier. I'm going to retire soon. Foreman might duck me, but I want Joe Frazier. I want Joe Frazier.
And so at the very end, there was an attempt to recapture the old bluster, to be the old Ali, but you could see from the man's face that he wasn't the same, that he just felt relieved and in a sense frustrated because he hadn't performed up to what he thought he could be able to do against Kenny Norton. Where does Ali go from here after all of these years? Certainly one of the most colorful athletes who has yet lived, certainly one of the most controversial. A man who stood up to the government and to most of the people to fight for what he believed in. A man who was ultimately vindicated by the Supreme Court of the United States. But a man who, after 3.5 years of enforced idleness, never really got back the greatness that had originally been his. In a strange way, maybe his greatest fight was against Joe Frazier, who at the time Ali fought him was a very great fighter himself, and they both spent one another in their battle. But under any circumstances, there is no way Ali can ever again be a great fighter, nor do I think Joe Frazier can be either. Ali understands this and wants one